Hey everybody, the Super Vader 400 here, Douglas Blair Roberts here, back for another video. And as you can see by the title above, this is my favorite animes list. Before I get started with this video, I am a huge anime fan, anime fan, anime fan. In contrast to I'm a huge anime fan. One of the many things I like about anime versus American television is anime, when it comes to censorship, they're not as strict as American cartoons are. However, the one thing I do not like about anime, especially in long running animes, is the filler, especially in certain stories where filler interrupts the main plot and just makes the series you're watching just totally unwatchable. Totally unwatchable. However, anime in more recent times has gotten better with that in comparison to what they were back in the 90s and of course the 2000s. 2000s, yeah. I like over 50 something anime, but I condensed this video down to about 46. Once again, just like my favorite movies and cartoons list, animes that I don't consider to be as good as the animes on this list, or animes I haven't finished watching enough to really give an opinion on, or really just haven't seen, they of course will not be on this list. Animes such as Slayers, Wedding Peach, Slayers, Wedding Peach, Tokyo Mew Mew, Baki the Grappler, Attack on Titan, Hunter X, and um, um, and min, and many more will not be on this list. So if you watch this video and you don't see your favorite anime, that's probably why. And once again, these are animes that I consider not only my favorites, to be the best of all time, So with that being said, let's get started right now. Before I get to the longer list portion of this video, some of my favorite animes include Naruto, Bleach, Blue Dragon, Shinzo, My Heroes Academia, One Punch Man, Ronin Warriors, Fist of the North Star, Shirato, Legend of the Heavenly Spear, Sailor Moon, Yu Yu Hakusho, Street Fighter, Fatal Fury, The King of Fighters, Voltron, Saber Rider, Ninja Robots, Techno Blade, 8-Man, Astro Boy, Sonic, Mega Man, and so much more. I like a lot of anime, man, and you'll see all of those animes and many more in my long list coming up. Alright, let's get started right now. Hit the music.
The best of them, tougher than leather. You can call me Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles. I'm hard as nails. It ain't hard to tell. I break them down whether they solid or frail. Unlike the rest, I'm independent since my first breath. First test, feel the right, then the worst left. Born on an island in the heavens. The blood of my ancestors flows inside me. My duty is to save the flower from evil deterioration. Yeah. I will be the one to set your heart free, true. Cleanse yourself with them evil spirits that's in you. Streaking lights, loud sounds, and instincts are the elements that keep me going. I am fighting my own mission. Nothing's gonna stand in my way, no, no. I will be the one to set your heart free, true. Cleanse yourself with them evil spirits that's in you. Don't be frightened, I'll stand up to all the pain and turmoil. Just believe in myself.
everybody? Super Vader 400 here, Douglas Blair Roberts here. It's time for the second part of my much larger favorite animes list. With that being said, oh yes, and by the way, YouTube for my YouTube watchers, there will be links to my previous favorite animes list. But this is my brand new 2018 favorite animes list. And with that being said, let's get started right now. Number one is number 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5 are Shinzo, Ronin Warriors, Bleach, Shirato, and Wild Knights, Gokiva. These are your armor based anime. These are animes which feature characters donning or transforming into mythical armor based warriors. These are usually, in my opinion, some of my favorite and some of the best animes of all time. And one thing I like about 4 of these animes, that's Shinzo, Ronin Warriors, Shirato, Wild Knights, Gokiva. They do not, unlike other modern animes, especially long-running Shonen Jump animes, they do not need 100+ episodes to tell a simplistic story, to tell a good story. They only need about 30+ episodes to tell a real good story, good story without boring you with all of this filler you don't care about. Then you have Bleach, which Bleach along with Naruto and One Piece dominated the 2000s. To this day, I still consider Bleach to be one of the best animes of all time, despite its problems, such as the filler. And today, things have been gone their way. Their live action film looks really good, and I'm happy to see that it appears to be doing well at the box office. I heard it was doing terrible, but the guy who posted that had no real proof. So, yeah. Number 6 is the hugely popular anime of the two. Number 6 and 7 are 2 of the biggest animes today. That's One Punch Man and My Heroes Academia. Both of these are superhero based animes, except both of these are vastly different from each other. One Punch Man completely reinvented the shonen anime genre. Most shonen animes are about a protagonist starting off going on a hero's journey, training with different people to obtain their power. This guy did sit-ups and push-ups off screen and obtain godlike power, and is so powerful he finishes off all of his victims with one punch and goes on a quest to find someone who can contend with his power. This is vastly different from all of the other animes such as Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Bleach, and all those other animes do. Then you have My Heroes Academia, which takes the original formula I was talking about, with the character going on a coming of age hero's journey, training with different people and obtaining power and learning what it really means to be a hero or whatever it is they're trying to be. This is an old school anime, and one of the most popular one of the most popular animes of today, having a animated movie coming that's already come out in Japan and will be coming here in October to limited theaters. Number 8 is another 2000s favorite. It's Blue Dragon, based on the hugely popular Blue Dragon video games. Number 9 is one of the biggest shonen animes of the decade, and it's still going strong today, and that's the Naruto franchise. That's the Naruto franchise. You have Naruto, then you have its sequels, which I think are much better, Shippuden, and the Naruto Part 3 project, which consists of Naruto the Last, Boruto the Next Generation, and of course Boruto the movie set after the television series. Like I said, Naruto Part 2 and 3 are the best, with Part 1 being a great start to what was a great franchise. Number 10 is the hugely popular 90s favorite Yu Yu Hakusho. 11 is another 90s favorite, Sailor Moon. 12 is the Street Fighter animes. That's Street Fighter 2, the animated film, which is an adaptation of the Street Fighter 2 Turbo video games. Street Fighter 2 Victory, which is an adaptation of both the Street Fighter 2 Turbo games and the Street Fighter Alpha series, and Street Fighter Alpha, which is an adaptation of the first two Street Fighter Alpha games. That's Street Fighter Alpha 1 and of course Street Fighter Alpha 2, which I consider the Street Fighter Alpha anime to be the best of the three. Then next you have the Fatal Fury animes, which are Fatal Fury 1, Fatal Fury 1 Legend of the Hungry Wolf, which is based on the very first Fatal Fury fighting game. Fatal Fury 2 The New Battle, which is based on the sequel, I keep forgetting what it's called. I keep forgetting what the second Fatal Fury game. Oh yeah, it's just called Fatal Fury 2. And then of course there's the best of the three in my opinion, Fatal Fury the motion picture, which is not based on any particular game and actually has a plot vastly similar to various armor-based animes such as Ronin Warriors, Shirato, and Saint Seiya. So number 14 is another SNK fighting game franchise, The King of Fighters Destiny. 15 is Techno Blade, a mecha based anime about a warrior who can transform into a robot. 16 is another armor based fighting game based anime, Voltage Fighter Go Kaiser. 17 is Devil May Cry, based on the hugely popular Capcom action game Devil May Cry. 18 is Power Stone, another Capcom based fighting game based anime, in my opinion one of the best video game cartoons of all time. 19, Blaze Blue, another video game based cartoon. You'll see a lot of video game based cartoons on this list. That's my next favorite genre after the armored hero genre. With my favorite genre, of course, all of these fit in the shonen genre, which is my favorite genre, the shonen genre, followed by science fiction, horror, then last but not least, mecha based animes. So 20 was Virtua Fighter, another fighting game based anime. 21 is the Marvel based animes. Yeah, they have animes too. First there's Wolverine, there's X-Men, then another X-Men anime featuring the Wolverine character, Iron Man, and of course Blade. Then 22, Inuyasha. 23, Samurai X, or to Western speakers, Rurouni Kenshin. 24, Astro Boy. There's the original 1960 series, the 1980 series, and my opinion, the best of the three, the 2003 series. 25 is the Gatchaman franchise, which was brought here as three adaptations: Battle of Planets, G-Force Guardians of Space, the best in my opinion, one of the best in my opinion, Eagle Riders, which I've never seen, and of course an English dub version of Gatchaman, which the English dub version and G-Force Guardians of Space are in my opinion the best. But I like all four, even though I haven't seen Eagle Riders. Number 26 is 8-Man, a RoboCop based anime, or this is one of the animes that inspired RoboCop. There's a 1960s cartoon which is okay. Then there's a edgy 90s remake called 8-Man After, which is way better. 27 is Guyver, Bio Booster Armor. This is another armor based anime, except instead of mythical based armor, this is science fiction alien mutant based armor. 28 is the cult classic Vampire Hunter D. That's the 1985 film, which is okay, and its larger sequel Vampire Hunter D. Bloodlust. All these are loosely based on a comic book and a novel. 29 is Night Warriors, which is another Capcom-based fighting game called The Darkstalkers, which is a horror-based fighting game featuring the universal monsters of the 1940s, such as the Wolfman, Frankenstein, Dracula, and the Mummy. 30 is the Transformers Unicron trilogy, which features Transformers Armada, Energon, the best, and of course Cybertron, which was the worst but was the best production-wise. And in my opinion, the entire Unicron trilogy together is one of the best Transformers television series of all time. 31 is Sonic X. 32 is an anime I just recently started watching 5 years ago but haven't finished yet. That's the Japanese Beast Wars and Beast Wars 2, with Beast Wars 2 being even better than the first one. Didn't even know there was a Japanese Beast Wars until 2004. 33, the 33 Dragon Ball GT, an alternate sequel and adaptation of the original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. As an adult, I consider Dragon Ball GT the best and one of the only ones I kind of watch today. 34 is the Mega Man based franchise, which consists of a Japanese American based cartoon that aired in the 90s that was a co-production of Capcom and Ruby Spears. I consider this to be one of the best Mega Man cartoons of all time. Then you had a sequel called Mega Man NT Warrior, which was a great anime, but was a horrible adaptation of Mega Man. This was more closer to Digimon and Beyblade than it was Mega Man, but still a great anime. Then the best, Mega Man Star Force. Mega Man Star Force and the original 1994 Mega Man were the best. And there's a new American Mega Man cartoon airing on Cartoon Network now, which I have to check out. 35, now it's time for robot mecha based animes. 35 is Ninja Robots, a show that crosses ninjas with robots, giant fighting robots. 36 is the hugely popular cult classic Voltron. That's the original Voltron. Voltron Defenders of the Galaxy series that from the 80s. Then there's a sequel, Voltron Force. Then there's an uncut version of the original 80s version. Then of course there's Beast King Go Lion, the Japanese dub of the original Voltron television series. 37 is Saber Rider and the Star Sheriffs, which is just like Voltron and Ninja Robots, only this was a space western, sci-fi space western robot based show. 38 is the hugely popular Gundam, and first there's Gundam. My favorites are Gundam 0079, Gundam 0080, 0086. The hugely popular G Gundam, which G Gundam was unique. It was vastly different, whereas the others were Star Wars military-based. G Gundam was a Tekken Street Fighter-based anime with robots. Then, of course, there was the hugely popular Gundam Wing, which was pretty cool. Then, in my opinion, the best of all time, Gundam Seed. 39 is Code Geass. A comedic shonen-based mecha shows, vastly similar to Gundam, only this was more comedic. Like Bleach and Naruto. Even features voice actors from those shows. 40 is Outlaw Star. 40 is time for the sci-fi. That's it for the robots. It's time for the sci-fi space westerns. 40 is Outlaw Star. 41 is Trigon. 42 is Cowboy Bebop. 43 is Cobra. Now it's time for now it's time. Now we're going to animes I forgot to include in this list, but I decided to include them at the last minute. 44 is Dragon Ball Z. The reason Dragon Ball Z is so low on this list is because I do not consider Dragon Ball Z to be a good show today. But it's a show I grew up with. It's a show I grew up with, and I love the Ocean dub version of Dragon Ball Z. I also love the Japanese version of Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Z. But I cannot stand their horrid Funimation dub, and as a series itself, the story and stuff just doesn't hold up. Just doesn't hold up today. That's why it's so down on the list. And I'm one of the many people who hated the Majin Buu saga. Next is Saint Seiya. Saint Seiya is actually one of the best animes around. It inspired the first five the first five animes I just named on this list. But this anime right here suffers from terrible dubs, a lack of a real good consistent dub, um, pacing issues, and um, obscurity, a lack of a good DVD release. 44 is Flames of Eureka. This is another ninja-based show, kind of like Naruto. Seen lots of episodes of this. This is a really awesome show. However, this show is a generic copy of Rurouni Kenshin, Yu Yu Hakusho, and while pacing wise is way more exciting than both of those shows are, it's nowhere near as good or as entertaining as those shows are. So that's why it's down on this list. 45 is Kinnikuman, one of the best animes of all time, one of the most influential animes of all time. But the first series, Kinnikuman, was never even dubbed, and the second series, Kinnikuman Nisei, which was brought here to America as Ultimate Muscle, they never even finished adapting the rest of the comic book. They stop at the Chojin Olympics when in the comic book, which was also canceled here in America, there was more adventures after that. So, and to this day, they still haven't adapted that, or even just remake the show, despite how popular Kinnikuman is. 46 is the hugely popular, the most influential anime of all time, and manliest anime of all time, and that is Fist of the North Star. Manga awesome, but the animes have not aged well, especially the television series with their terrible pacing, cartoonish artwork, and yeah, those are the problems. Those are the problems. Why this awesome anime is down on this? Then there's the 1986 film, which is a much better adaptation than the television series. However, it omits, while it retains most of the uncut violence from the manga, it still doesn't have the art style of the manga, and it also lacks and it also omits several characters, thus confusing a newer viewer to the Fist of the North Star franchise. 47 is Soul Eater, really awesome anime, but really forgettable. Then 48 is Digimon with, of course, I like all four. Digimon World 1, 2, 3, and 4 with Digimon World 1, 3, and 4, in my opinion, being the best. 49, Pokemon. Pokemon with Pokemon 1 all the way through Diamond and Pearl being the best. I like all the Pokemon series. I stopped after Diamond and Pearl and XYZ. 50 is Bakugan. 50 is Bakugan. 51, Yu-Gi-Oh! Last but not least, 52 is Speed Racer, and 53 is Beyblade, which Beyblade is not the best anime ever, but it was a hugely popular anime back in the 2000s, and the first two series were hugely entertaining. They took a dumb toy-like concept, but mixed it with cool mythology, story, and characters. So yeah, Well, this was my favorite anime list, and these were all the animes I'm going to be talking about on my brand new fan page and my Super Vader 400 channel. Now, I'm finished for now. Let's hit the music.
Here I come, rougher than the rest of them, the best of them, tougher than leather. You can call me Knuckles. Unlike Sonic, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles, hard as nails. It ain't hard to tell. I break them down whether they solid or frail. Unlike the rest, I'm independent since my first breath. First test, feel the right, then the worst left. I have no such thing